Listen up, get ready, I'm not gonna take no more. There's a revolution, a revelation going on in my soul. Buckle up, get ready, we're not gonna sit.
Hey, welcome back to Live from the Heartland for the week of the 24th of October. And we have been in Logan Square. Now we're going to jump over to Uptown, the first neighborhood I ever lived in when I'm in Chicago. And I've got two fellows who are real active in Uptown, particularly up on Argyle Street. I'm just getting to know both of them, Hac Tran and Jefferson Mok. And welcome, fellas. How are you doing today?
Good to see you again. Good.
So how about telling us a little bit about HAIBAYÅ and tell me how to pronounce it correctly if I screwed it up. I was by your space one time when Jefferson arranged for a photo exhibit and a short talk. It's a neighborhood that I go way back with, having been involved with a group in Uptown called Joint Community Union in the late 60s. And Argyle then was a pretty rough hillbilly-esque place with country music joints, gunfire, knife fights. It was something else. What's it like now, and what's going on?
Yeah, so I mean, my memory of Uptown is from the early '90s. I was born in '85, but my parents were heavily involved with the Uptown community, especially with the Vietnamese American community. Both my parents were involved with VAI, which is the Vietnamese Association of Illinois, which is still there today. I think they're celebrating their 50th year. But the area has changed significantly from my memory. It used to be, when I was there, and frequenting the community, it was predominantly, Southeast Asian, especially like after 75, with the end of the Vietnam War, a lot of influx of immigrant and refugees from Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam. So my dad settled there, and my parents actually re-met each other on Argyle Street after the refugee camps. So there's some significant history for me and my connection to the street. But yeah, 30, 40 years on, the area has gentrified significantly. There's still the commercial corridor of Argyle, which is predominantly Pan-Asian now, which is called Asia and Argyle. But, a lot of people have been priced out, a lot of demographic changes, a lot of businesses have changed hands over the years. So that's kind of how HAIBAYÅ started, actually, with the other co-founder, who's my childhood friend, Jennifer Pham. Her father was actually the first Vietnamese business owner on the block. They had a pharmacy, which is still there today. But about 10 years ago or so, we reconnected and we were like, hey, let's throw kind of a pop-up party, because we noticed that the area has changed and a lot of people in our generation stopped coming to the neighborhood. So we wanted to kind of spark something to just draw people back to the neighborhood. So that's how it really started. We reconnected 10 years ago, but we didn't really start something until about 2018, 2019. We had around 10, 11 pop-up social parties. And, at first, we didn't really intend it to be so big, but hundreds of people came to these things. And it just kept growing and growing. And then, unfortunately, the pandemic hit. So we had to pivot. We did some mutual aid, food giveaways during the pandemic. We had initiatives to support local businesses, restaurants, as well as people, seeking food during the pandemic. But when things started opening up again, we kind of refocused on kind of the event planning. So we did more cultural events. We were lucky enough to get grants from the Department of Cultural Affairs and special events for 2 years. And we did about 4 cultural festivals on Argyle Street just to celebrate our culture, our heritage, our history within the area. And a lot of this programming is not only specifically, Vietnamese. We make it an effort to highly focus on connecting with other BIPOC communities. So we've had friends from Little Village, from Pilsen, from different neighborhoods of color that have collaborated with us with our programming and with our curation. So that's one of the key efforts that we push for, not only cultural preservation of, the Pan-Asian community, but also really how do we connect with other BIPOC communities and support each other. So that was kind of the birth of HAIBAYÅ. And now we're a cafe. We're lucky enough to get a different brand in partnership with Q Ideas Plant Shop, which is a legacy business on the block. Ellen, who's the owner, she took it over from her family, and we came together, got a grant to redevelop the space and reimagine the space as kind of a social enterprise, not only a nonprofit cultural events, cultural preservation organization, but also, the cafe aspect, and which I think, Michael, you know a lot about because you had, you were one of the pioneers, especially on the north side, for a similar space like this. So it's inspiration to be here and talk to you today.
So when was your opening, your official opening of the coffee house? When I was there, a few months back, I saw the new coffee machine that you were going to bring in, and I saw the work ongoing. Jefferson showed me around and took me through little rooms and stuff. What was the opening like? You just opened up, and I've been seeing pictures of your place, with you guys and the state rep. I don't know about the alderman. I've seen pictures with the governor. Fill us in on opening day and what led to that, and the kind of support you're getting from, at least for the photograph ops, from these elected officials.
Oh yeah. So we've been functioning within this space already for the last year and a half. And you were one of the guests with Jefferson to talk about Uptown and photography and your history. So we've done multiple types of curated programmings in the past. So I think there's been anticipation amongst our constituents and the people that have supported us throughout the years. So we were anticipating hey, it's going to be busy, and in fact it was. We're grateful for the community that supports us. New folks who are coming to the neighborhood who want to learn about the history. So that's what we really want to push with our social enterprises. Hey, this is the history of the Vietnamese diaspora here, the Pan-Asian diaspora. And if you're a newcomer, there's something to learn, but also grab a really unique coffee, food, and also, engage with the people who have been here before. So yeah, it couldn't have been a better grand opening weekend. And yeah, like you said, we, with 48th Ward alderperson Lenny Mana Hoppenworth, she's been very supportive throughout the years. And also State Rep Hoan Nguyen, who's the first Vietnamese refugee elected into that position in the state of Illinois. So he's been extremely supportive of us, even well before he was state rep. He was actually one of the people who started Celebrate Argyle, which is another organization that started during the pandemic. It was him, a few other people alongside Jennifer and I. So we were good friends with him, and just to have that government support in the work that we do is critical, especially with very progressive government officials.
Yeah, grand opening was last Saturday, the 18th. So quite literally just days ago. We had the ribbon cutting with the elected officials. We'll send you some of those photos if you can share them out.
How about you got a camera there? Can you talk while you're walking around?
Let me try to just give you a quick little tour. So this is really cafe space, history space, event space, kind of living museum. So that's the main entrance, and walking here in the hallway, these are exhibits and different pieces and articles and photos talking about the history of Argyle Street and the people that really contributed to its founding over the years. And then we have here a middle area. We like this table here a lot. And then we're here in the cafe space with our hardworking barista team. And then spinning over here, the sort of iconic yellow couch already. And then moving over here toward the outside, we have a wonderful patio space. It's a little bit cold, so it's not open today. But usually we have a lot of plants from our neighbor, Q Ideas, the plant shop that Hac mentioned. And then we have a variety of different drinks, your very classic matcha and espresso drinks, but then also a lot of specials that are inspired by Southeast Asian flavors.
Well, how about one of you guys giving us the address and then some websites that people might take a look at?
So the address is 1132 West Argyle in Uptown, and it's literally steps from the CTA stop, which just reopened a couple months ago. So you can get off right at Argyle and walk over. You can have lunch at one of the other businesses on the street first, and then come for your coffee fix. Lots of different ideas. We have cookies and sandwiches too. So if you want to just stop in and make it your one stop, spend an afternoon here, read a book, write that, great novel that you've been hoping to write.
Or if someone can write
a screenplay. Yeah. Any of those options are available. We pride ourselves on being versatile.
Are there any events coming up that you want to plug?
Yeah, so we do have an open mic night with Philippine-Nex and other Pan-Asian artists and creatives on November 6th from 6 to 8 p.m. I'm in a discussion currently with the Foundation for Asian American Independent Media to host a short documentary about immigration, which is really important and critical in these times as we face ICE and this administration. So you could follow us on Instagram, which is HAIBAYÅ, HAI_BAYO for updated events, or you could check out our website, HAIBAYO, HAIBAYO.org. And then we also have a .com for the cafe menu.
Well, Hac Tran and Jefferson Mok, I'll see you soon. I'm coming by for a hit of that coffee and a little good discussion. Thanks for joining us on Live from the Heartland.